Ladies and gentlemen, Maine Maritime Academy students, faculty, and staff, family and friends, on behalf of Rear Admiral Lower Half Craig Johnson, Interim President of Maine Maritime Academy, and the entire MMA community, welcome to our annual gun rededication. Would our guests please rise for our national anthem?
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is my honor to introduce Rear Admiral Craig Johnson, Interim President of Maine Maritime Academy.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to Maine Maritime Academy. This is a very special spot here at the Academy and a very special weekend for the freshmen before they get inducted tomorrow. This plaque behind me, it's got a long list of names over a long history of the Academy. It's nice that we honor this once a year, but it's a nice place for other people to come here and remember the past. Ships, sailors, and the weapons change, but tradition, which can neither be bought nor sold nor created, is a solid rock amongst shifting sands. This 3-inch 50 caliber naval gun, used aboard World War II merchant ships and resting at Maine Maritime Academy since the early 1940s, is part of MMA's history. MMA was founded in 1941 because there was a historic need to supply our merchant and naval ships with trained and qualified personnel. This manually operated 3-inch 50 was sent to MMA for the midshipmen to defend our ships when attacked. The gun remained operational for several years, and the operations manuals are still maintained today by the Commandant's staff. After the war, the need for this specific training had diminished. The gun was relegated to a spot on Levitt Lawn, where it became a symbol of why Maine Maritime Academy was founded. Over the years, alumni expressed a desire to have a memorial on the MMA campus for all graduates who had been lost at sea or killed in the line of duty. This gun, a tangible symbol of lives lost and why the school was founded, became the memorial. In 1996, the gun was reconditioned and moved to its current location where it stands today. The addition of the Lost at Sea Memorial Wall contributes to the importance of this installation. May we never forget the sailors whose names are memorialized here. This symbol will remind all who view it of our predecessors who gave their lives for their country, ship, and shipmates, thereby making freedoms and lifestyles we enjoy possible. I have a thought for you to consider. Who are these people this symbol honors? They were once cadets like you. They had the same problems, thoughts, hopes, dreams, dislikes, or even sweated through their exams too. They certainly didn't want shortened lives. These people are us, and we are them. In the years to come, inevitably, more names will be added to this list. Some of us may even know the names recalled at future ceremonies, and families will gather to remember. We are here today with an obligation to preserve the memories of these graduates and acknowledge their service and sacrifice. We are here today to acknowledge the core values, honor, loyalty, and devotion to duty by which they live their lives. As the inscription on the memorial reads, in memory of those graduates who gave their lives while serving their country or who were lost at sea, may their sacrifice never be forgotten. When planning for this memorial, the alumni were concerned as to how to ensure that this memorial becomes hallowed ground for future classes. We do not share that concern because we have faith in today's regiment and future regiments, and the fact they will honor those who have come before them and those who will come after. I now turn the proceedings over to Captain Mark Winter, Commandant of Midshipmen, for the charge of responsibility.
Mug class of 2028. Attend. Hut. Class of 2028. The classes before you, including the representative members of classes of 2025, 2026, 2027 here today, were charged with the responsibility of ensuring that this memorial remains a very special area on our campus. That responsibility is now being passed to you as representatives of Maine Maritime Academy's class of 2028. I now charge you to carry on that tradition and bear the solemn responsibility to guard, preserve, and protect this memorial so that it may continue to be passed from one regimental class to the next for as long as Maine Maritime Academy is in existence. Mug class of 2028. Do you accept this responsibility? Thank you. The responsibility is now in your hands, and you have the trust and support of the entire MMA community and the alumni. Regiment, parade, rest.
I will now read the list of those killed in the line of duty or lost at sea. I will read their names and class year. Class of 1943 1, William H. McReal. Class of 1943 1, Warren C. Johnston. Class of 1943 1, Donald E. Ritchie. Class of 1943 2, James W. Harding. Class of 1943 2, Sewell B. Smith, Jr. Class of 1943 2, Darwin A. Dibble. Class of 1944, John E. Christie. Class of 1945, Frank J. Allen. Class of 1945, Raymond R. Vaness. Class of 1947, Ernest A. Monroe. Class of 1950, Richard B. Hopkins. Class of 1950, Paul J. Latorno. Class of 1952, Ralph P. Lowe. Class of 1957, Bernard A. Woods. Class of 1958, William H. Vance. Class of 1959, Paul M. Grafton. Class of 1960, David W. Sturgeon. Class of 1961, William A. Huston. Class of 1965, Norman F. Rawson. Class of 1969, Thomas E. Smith. Class of 1969, Stephen L. York. Class of 1970, David K. Coffin. Class of 1973, William L. Todd III. Class of 1973, Nicholas L. Viola. Class of 1974, William B. Hunt. Class of 1975, Riza M. Kusha. Class of 1975, Stephen R. Poitras. Class of 1976, Galen W. Howes. Class of 1977, Kevin C. Murray. Class of 1978, Abbas Dayarbar Elot. Class of 1978, Mark S. Henthorn. Class of 1982, Harry O. Klein III. Class of 1985, Michael E. Sanborn. Class of 1986, Timothy L. Bohan. Class of 1987, Anthony M. Griffin. Class of 1988, Michael C. Davidson. Class of 1994, Sergio A. Fernandez. Class of 1995, Casey Lejunas. Class of 2004, Nathan E. Stewart. Class of 2005, Danielle L. Randolph. Class of 2011, Mitchell T. Kufflick. Class of 2012, Michael L. Holland. Class of 2014, Dylan O. Melkin. Class of 2019, Trenton Lloyd Reese. In honor of those lost, I will read the poem, The Watch. For years, the sailor has stood his watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, these sailors stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, these shipmates stood the watch. Yes, even for those yet not born in this world, these shipmates stood the watch. Even when there were storms, clouds of war brewing on the horizon of history, these shipmates stood the watch. Many times they would cast an eye ashore and see their loved ones standing there, needing their guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times. But they still stood the watch. These shipmates stood the watch for us. They stood the watch so that we, our families, our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that a sailor stood the watch. Today we are here to say, shipmates, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led. Fallen shipmates, you stand relieved. We have the watch. In honor of all those memorialized on this wall, a member of the regiment will perform Amazing Grace. Regiment, attend, huh! I now introduce Midshipman 3rd Class Scott Almaquist for the 8 bells portion of the ceremony.
Onboard timekeeping has been an integral part of shipboard life since the earliest days of long-distance navigation. Traditionally, the ship's bell rings every half hour throughout the day, every day. Each half hour, a chime is added until 8 bells are reached, signifying the end of a 4-hour period or watch, at which time the current watch group is relieved and a new group assumes operations. Today, we recognize the end of the watch for our fallen mariners.
Would the guests please rise? Regiment, present arms. Regiment, order, arms. Thank you to our band and drill company members and our representative members of the Regiment of Midshipmen for joining us today. This concludes our ceremony. Members of the regiment, you are dismissed.